Welcome to Transformation, straight talk about life, business, and spirituality. And I am really excited today because today I have the beautiful, wonderful Sherry Richert Belul. And we're going to be discussing the holidays. The holidays is such a hard time for so many people and a joyous time for so many people. We're really diving into some wonderful topics, though. How to handle the holidays, the stress of the holidays, the joys of the holidays, and things that you can do to make it a wonderful time for everybody. So welcome, Sherry. I am just so excited to have you back again. It is always wonderful to have you on because you and I can laugh and talk for hours, as evident by this outro and intro.
I'm so happy to be with you again, Carly. And this is such a great topic, isn't it?
It is. And I can't wait for you to share some of your wonderful, insightful tools that we're going to be sharing with everybody.
I'm excited too. Where do you want to start today?
I would love for you to start with a beautiful post that you posted on Facebook that I just shared all over the place. So I am not going to share with everybody what I saw. You are going to share with everybody what you have shared everywhere.
Aha. So I'm guessing that we might be talking about the new Black Friday. Is that
No, let's start actually with the list that you created.
Oh, with the love list?
Yes, start with the love list. That was so amazing, and then we'll go back to that.
Love it, because they're connected anyway.
Yes, they are.
You know, one of the big things that you know about me, that I'm a real proponent of making the holidays both stress-free and debt-free. And just like you just said, coming up with ways to make it so that it's joyful for everybody. And one of the things that I really encourage people to do during the holidays is to give a gift that's called the love list. And it's just basically a list, everything you love about somebody. It can be 10 things, it could be 20 things, it could be 50 things, 100 things. They could be funny, quirky, whatever, you know, sad, poignant, whatever. It's all wonderful. And it makes the best gift.
And I want you to share it now. That was not the long version of what you shared. Well, you actually shared some examples on how to do this. You actually brought out a piece of paper, and you actually said you could print it out, you can put pictures on it. You know, let's get a little more fancy about this here.
I would love to. So that was the simple version, as you're right. So someone could do that, and it could take a half an hour, 45 minutes. Or if you wanted, sometimes what people do is they take that list of all the things they love about someone, and for instance, they might print it out and make them each one separate piece of paper, and you could put them in a beautiful jar or vase or something that you get at a thrift store that's just a lovely container, and I call that a joy jar, so that then people can pull one every day, you know, so that they have these, you know, this outpouring of love that lasts for a long time. Other things that people do is I've had people put them in fortune cookies, which is a really wonderful thing you can do. There's actually, if you search online, or if you download my free download, I have a link to it where you can find out how to make the fortune cookies and stick them in the fortune cookies. You could, like you said, you could make a poster. You could print out some photographs along with the love list ideas. I've had people make small books out of them. I've had people make mobiles that hang. I mean, the thing is, it's just endless, the sort of creativity that people come up with.
And that's one thing you and I is extremely creative. And I invite everybody, this is the thing, one of my tag phrases is learn, play, and grow every day. We are all massively creative. Use your creativity. Know the people you're giving these to. Find out what they love. What are the things, some of the things that they're passionate about. And use these love lists to tap into their creativity and their passions, and make these around what they love. So let's say you know someone's involved in football. So make these love lists around their favorite football team. Let's say you know someone's a favorite ballerina or is involved in dance. Make these love lists around their ballerina or their dancing thing. So maybe you make the poster out of dance shoes or a ballerina, and you actually put all these little phrases on a ballerina poster. So what I'm inviting you to do is get into your kindergarten energy. Get some crayons, get some crazy scissors, get creative.
Carly,
So
I love
that's what I invite
that.
you to do. I invite you to tap into the other person's passion, not just yours. In other words, I want you to get juicy. I want you to get creative. However, I want you to tap into what the other person's passions are.
The thing that I love so much about what you're saying is I think that that speaks to everything as the foundation for this time of year, right? That it's like so often what happens is we forget to put ourselves in the other person's shoes and really imagine, like, you know, what would this person really want, you know? And oftentimes, you know, it's time and attention, you know, it's that they want to spend time with us. They want to have an experience. But it's like, just like you're saying, though, I think if we actually like imagine ourselves as that person, then all kinds of creativity comes out of that.
Imagine dog lovers and cat lovers. You can actually make those love lists, the words,
yes,
in dog bones. Cut out dog bones and make the words in dog bones.
That's so
cat lovers.
Great.
Make them into cat faces. Okay, with little whiskers, you know what I'm saying? And I know tons of dog lovers and tons of cat lovers. So I really invite you to get creative. And that's what I love about the phrase learn, play, and grow. Just seriously get out there and have some fun. And the reason why I wanted her to start with the love list is because I really want to talk about the people that are alone. Not everybody has a huge family. So I invite you to use Sherry's example of this love list and take it to people that you know that are in nursing homes.
Oh, that's beautiful.
The reason why I'm bringing this up is every year I go around to, I do a charity event where we go to nursing homes and people that are bedbound, and we go around and sing. So I invite you to take these joy jars, and that's why I'm using the joy jar example, or the posters, and do these gift jars, okay, and bring the people that maybe are alone or don't have a huge family. We forget that not everybody has a huge family. Some people are going to be alone on the holidays. So don't take for granted that you have a place to go. You may have, like I said, you may have the family, or you have a loved one, or you have a spouse, or maybe it is just you and your spouse having, you know, Thanksgiving alone, or the Christmas event alone. Not everybody has that. So I invite you to use Sherry's creativity here, her joy jar example, the love list, okay? And I invite you to take that and do something for somebody who doesn't have that huge outpouring of love from others. So that's why I wanted you to start with that.
I love that. And Carly, one of the things that Kate dropped in while you were saying that is that I have oftentimes made these lists. They don't have to be long lists, but you could just do even a list of 3 or 4 or 5 things for someone who's alone, like you said, and you could send it anonymously in the mail. You know, like use your creativity, everything you just said, and create a beautiful, you know, something that they just, you know, open up and it's colorful and alive, and maybe it just feels like it's coming out of nowhere with these, like, you know, this is what makes you so lovable. It could just be 3 or 4 or 5 things. Could change someone's entire feeling about the whole holiday season.
You can even do this, and we've done this, you could give it to a homeless person. Now here's the thing. I don't suggest that you just put words in there. And I'm not saying you have to put money in there. It can be that you put words in there and a pair of tube socks.
Yes.
A toothpaste and a razor. In other words, please put words in there as well, because I'm telling you, those words will impact that person. Saying you are loved, you are appreciated, you are somebody. They want, you know, people that are homeless want to know that they're also seen, heard, and loved. However, also please put things in there that they can actually use. Okay, you know, tube socks, especially now that it's getting cold, something to warm their feet up.
Or a scarf, you know, a nice warm scarf.
Yes, scarves, absolutely, because they'll fit in a jar. Okay. However, also, and the reason why I say jars is because they like things they can put stuff in. So, yeah. However, you know, socks are great because they can cover their hands with them, they can cover their feet with them, and also like stuff like mouthwash and toothpaste and toothbrushes are also really things that they're actually really good to use. Some people don't like doing the money because they're like, oh, we're just enabling. Well, if that's the way you really feel, because I don't want to tell people they have to give people money, then put things in that are, like I said, tube socks, which are going to cover their hands and their feet, scarves, which Sherry said, and things like mouthwash and toothpaste, whatever. Well, I'm not going to tell you what to do. Do what you feel it comes from your heart. However, I really like the love list, and like I said, you can do it for anybody. And I just want you to do what feels right for you. But I did want to start with that because not everybody has a place to go. So that's where I wanted to start this interview. And I just
yeah,
thought it would be a great way to start the holidays. And so I loved, when I saw the love list, and of course our good dear friend was one that initially had pointed it out to me, Tanya.
Oh,
wonderful love. So when Tanya showed it to me on her page, and I was like, oh, I gotta share this, and that's why I was like, we gotta do the interview, we gotta do it now before the holidays. Then I was like, okay, we're gonna have a very long conversation.
Well, I love that you're starting off with this too, because I think it's really important to remember that that's sort of like, Norman Rockwell or Hallmark vision of what the holidays is not the norm. It's not, and it's like people can compare their lives to that rather than also like what you're pointing out is that a lot of people are alone this time of year, and so it's like wherever we are that we can not only find a way to be grateful for what we have, but also like you're saying, to bring that color and that light and that love to other people who may not have anybody in their lives. So I love that you're starting off with that.
And that also ties into the handwritten note, because we get so customized now with technology. Now, here is a double-edged sword. A lot of people have gone technology because they want to attempt to save paper. It's kind of interesting.
It's true.
We have people that want to recycle. So everyone's gone to technology, to doing emails and, email messages and, voicemail and all that. However, it's very interesting because there's that dichotomy, recycling, right? So they do technology. However, that's also taking some element out of personal. So how do we balance that? Well, I would say there's another way of doing that is to purchase, which is another thing which we're going to talk about. You and I will talk about in a little bit about the purchasing aspect of purchasing recycled items. So you can buy recycled paper, recycled gift cards, and hold on here, you can also make your own cards. You can use paper bags, obviously. You can get your paper bags from wherever you shop, and you can actually make literally, you can actually make your own envelopes and cards from brown paper bags. Now, unfortunately, you can't mail them because our wonderful U.S. Postal Services will not allow you to mail cards like that. But you can write your notes in like that, and you can also, again, get creative and use crayons and decorate and make more love lists from that as well. You can cut up from brown paper bags. So it's kind of interesting. Technology's evolved, and people are using that more because they, attempt to use the recycling method, right?
Absolutely.
And that takes a little bit of the element of personality away.
And I'm right with you on finding creative ways, because I am such a proponent of mailing things still. I think it's such a gift to get something lovely and fun and unexpected in the mail. But it doesn't have to be, you don't have to go buy a card that costs $5. That's not at all. They're, especially people who live, like I live in a city, and it's really easy to find. There are lots of places like thrift stores that reuse, things like that. You can find packs of just like sort of card material or, things like that. Or, like you were saying, I love that. Look around your house and you could reuse. I love to send like photographs and just glue something on the back of an old photograph, and write a little note on it. That makes something really fun for people to get in the mail.
A lot of people are using them as postcards too. Like you said, is taking the photograph and turning it into a postcard. I just think we've gotten so complacent or comfortable, and we have stopped seeking or looking or finding or taking magazines. I mean, look at the old days of doing collages.
Yeah.
When we were in school, when they throw all the magazines on the table when you're in kindergarten, right? And they're saying, okay, take these magazines and create collages, and or even as adults, they're telling us to do our vision boards. Take all these magazines and create your vision board. So I just invite people to get creative instead of just getting complacent and just go buy. And now I'm not saying not support. I'm all for supporting your local stores. Okay, I'm not saying that either. I mean, that's this whole show is about balance. I'm just saying, and that's what we. Sharon and I talked about this. This whole show is about balance. It's about not going into debt, and we're not saying don't buy anything, okay? Right. We're not saying, don't support your local vendors, or don't go to art fairs, and we want you to support your local people, because those are the people that are literally that are supporting us too. I mean, it literally is. It's a balance, okay? It's not going out there and going crazy and spoiling children either, or spoiling your spouse, or spoiling anybody. Okay, it's not about going in debt and paying your credit cards off the entire year because you just went crazy over the Christmas time, or any holiday for that matter. This isn't just about Christmas, okay? Although we have a tendency that come Christmas time, we rack up our credit cards, and then all year round we're paying off our credit cards just for the Christmas. That is our tendency for the culture of, well, I'm just going to say that's, at least in my opinion, that's what I've seen as a cultural thing. However, we have a tendency, for all holidays, it just seems that the Christmas tends to be the big one. So this whole conversation that Sherry and I are talking about is all year round, de-stressing, and finding balance.
I love that. I love what you're saying, Carly, that it is, it's really about, I think here's the big thing for me, is it's really consciousness. I'm always just saying it's bringing consciousness and intention into, and again, it's not just the holidays, it's all the time, but really that consciousness about, am I feeling joyful as I'm doing this? Is this serving someone else? Is it serving me? Like you're saying, I mean, it doesn't really serve anyone to go spend a lot of money that we don't have, so that then we're in debt. It's just a hardship. But to really bring consciousness to it and think oh, well, where are some places that I could come up with some creative ideas that not only the other person will love to receive because they're so personal and unique, but they would be a joy for me to create. Say your expression again, play, grow.
Learn, play, and grow.
Learn, play, and grow. To something that's going to enable us to step into that philosophy and have a really great time while we're creating something to give to someone. It's just where are the places I can do that? Maybe it's just one place, in the next few months. Maybe it's 10 or 20, who knows? But for each person, I think it's really looking inside and thinking wow, where can I bring a little more intention and consciousness and play and creativity, I
also want people to think about, if we're going out and spending all that money, how much guilt, and that's what you said, we said consciousness. When you're going out shopping, I want you to think, when you're shopping, are you in a space of joy, or when you leave that store, are you in a space of guilt?
I think that's really important. And here's the other thing that I think is a big word around this time of year is obligation. And I would love to see us just toss that aside. This whole idea of obligatory gift lists. Well, I have to buy for her because she buys for me, or, my family always. It's just all of that to me is not what this is about at all.
Well, I'd like for you to address that, because I'm going to address something first, and I'm going to go back to you on that, because you brought something up around that. So let's get back to card giving. How many times have you, so Christmas time comes, and you get all these cards from people. Are you feeling an obligation then to have to the following year to send to those exact same people that gave you cards? Or here's one better. Aunt Mary didn't give me a card this year, so I sent one to Aunt Mary last year, but because Aunt Mary didn't give me a card this year, I'm not going to give her a card this year because last year Aunt Mary didn't give a card to me.
Ay, ay, ay.
Okay? This is a mentality I hear a lot from people. So I'm not going to waste my time this year giving Aunt Mary a Christmas card because last year Aunt Mary forgot about me. Okay? Well, first of all, the whole art of giving isn't about I gave to Aunt Mary, therefore Aunt Mary owes me. That's not giving. That is not the art of true giving. Giving is about I gave to Aunt Mary because I chose to give Aunt Mary and for no other reason. You give because you choose to give. You don't give with the expectation of giving expectation of getting something back. Because here's the thing. If you're in the mindset of giving and expecting something in return, you're going to be you're not going to be happy because that's not the way it works. If you're in the mind and the mindset of automatically expecting, you're actually the universe is actually going to give you the experience of that. It's going to give you the experience of lack.
Wow.
The minute you
Wow.
the minute you start giving from the space of giving, just for the sake of giving, because that's just your state of your mindset. Your mindset is your heart is of just giving naturally. You're going to find two things are going to happen. One is the universe is naturally going to give you anyway because you already are giving, okay? And you are naturally going to get abundance anyway, monetarily, by the way, and also just organically people are going to give to you in love, in abundance, in all sorts of ways. The universe never meant for people to be in a state of lack, in the state of many things, okay? I'm not going to get into the whole abundance factor because that's not what this show's about. although, you know, abundance is a huge factor of giving and receiving. The same thing about supporting our local vendors, okay? There is, you know, we are in this society and the planet we're living in and right now in this time and space, monetary is our currency, whether we like it or not, whether you're spiritual or not, okay, because that's a huge thing right now, where people are like, you know, if we're spiritual, you know, there's this whole free component that if we, you know, we have to, you know where I'm going, right? It's like,
yeah, I do.
We're not spiritual, the whole money thing. That's not true. The whole, you know, you have to be poor and you can't get. I'm not even going there. But anyways. We're in this currency right now, and the currency in this time and frame of where we are living at this moment, it happens to be that it is currency in dollars. So that's just the way it is. So I would like to go back to you because you were actually talking earlier about your tradition and your family about gift giving.
Oh, yeah, I would love to tell people.
Yeah, so why don't we go, so I want to go back to you, and I want you to share your tradition and gift giving in your family.
So I'll preface that by saying my mother loves to buy gifts. My mother, she really loves the whole thing of going out and shopping and trying to find, like, oh, do the kids need sheets? What do they need? So she really loves that, to do that. Our side of the family, which is myself and my son and my ex-husband and my boyfriend, who always travel to see my mom at the holidays, we love to give experiences. And so what's happened is it's like over the last number of years, we give in the way that we love to give, which is we create for our whole family back east what we call the holiday hoopla. So it's a day of fun and games, and we fix dinner for everybody. And I think I was telling you this. So it's like we started it off the first year by doing kind of like a carnival variety show. So we had booths that people could go to. We had a validation booth, so people would come up to the validation booth and we'd say, "You're such a great mother. You've always been the best sister," you know, that sort of thing. And then there would be a photo booth, and people could try on different funny things and take their pictures with each other. And we did a variety show with magic and different things like that, music. And then the last couple years, we've had a day that we call Survivor Christmas. And so we come up with things like people have to, we call it the extreme gingerbread building contest. So people have to build like these crazy gingerbread houses, or we have scavenger hunts, or we blindfold them and make them try different foods. So we try and do all sorts of different fun, personalized crosswords. And so it's become like this amazing thing because not only do people have a great time together, and it's creating these wonderful memories, and we have so many great photographs, but the planning of it is just so much fun. So my son and, again, his dad, my ex-husband, and my boyfriend, we all get together and just for weeks plan, you know, what are we going to do? And it's so much fun to create a surprise for someone. And so that's something that I always suggest to people. You know, you don't have to bring those actual gifts. You know, we spend very little money, but we spend a lot of time and a lot of heart and a lot of effort on it. And I think people have received it in that spirit. You know, nobody ever says like, oh, where's our gift? You know what I mean? It's not like that. And in the same way, we receive the physical gifts that, you know, my mother and my sister might feel they want to give because that's the way they want to give. And it's not like we have to be in this like, you know, you give this way, so we give this way. It's like what really feels like a real gift for us, maybe different than for somebody else.
Well, so, and that's a great thing you brought up. Again, you're learning and playing, growing in your own way. And here's the thing. Think about this. You, your ex-husband, and your boyfriend. Now, I'm bringing this up for a point because here's again what I love about that is in today's society, okay, we have a lot of multicultural families. We have, in-laws, step families, and again, that's a glowing example how an ex-husband, a boyfriend, and a son can all come together, communicate effectively, and you're actually planning something and you're all traveling together to your mothers like adults, and your team. But I'm serious. Don't people
It's
can't
true.
do that? That is such an amazing example of teamwork and collaboration. I love it. And I'm so glad I actually brought that up and allowed you to share that story. I invite everybody to understand, A, how an amazing parenting story that is for a child to be exposed to that and exposed as that unit of a family, being able to collaborate and do something as a family like that together, okay? That is such an amazing, beautiful, holiday time together.
I have to tell you,
I wish all families were able to do that.
I want to tell you another piece of it that is also, I think, fits into the whole holiday season. The other person that travels with us from the West Coast is my ex-husband's father, who is Jewish.
Beautiful.
And he's Jewish. So when he travels with us to my mother's house in Ohio, who's my mother's Catholic, we always have a Hanukkah celebration where we have latkes and, we do a whole Hanukkah celebration, and my ex-husband's father does the prayers, so we get to experience that. But also then he joins in the holiday hoopla and the Christmas stuff, so that it's like the other thing is that I'm just, nobody's stuck in it has to be this way. We try and bring it all in. We try and make room for everybody. And I think that it's like, I feel so grateful that people are willing to do that. And I think it all comes from a place of like just wanting, it all started with my son, right? Everybody wanted him to be in a place of love. And so everybody was willing to say like, okay, that's all right, we'll celebrate both. We'll celebrate all together. Let's all just be together. And so it's my favorite time of year because of all of those pieces, No,
I really give you immense credit for that, and you're a terrific mother. I mean, that's just beautiful. And I'm so glad that we actually talked about that, because that's a great parenting piece. And it also touches into how we, as mothers and fathers, how we can actually bring it out to our children, so that our children can see that we as adults can still get along, that we as adults can, it's not, when we get divorced, it's not about the children. In other words, you know what I'm saying? We as adults can still be adults. We still love our children, and we care about our children. That, we as adults, we made our mistakes, and then we don't need to take it out on our children.
And to take that even further is that we can still love one another.
Exactly.
I'm always saying that. I love my son's dad. I really do. It's not the same kind of love as it was when we were in a romantic relationship, but the love is still there. And I think that that's the other piece that I really hope that people can see, and the holidays and all the time, that it's like we can really love all the people who have been our extended family. I think that that's really important.
I think that's just that is such a beautiful, beautiful piece. I do want to let everybody know that we are on Intention Radio, and that I would love for you to check out Intention Radio at www.intentionradio.com, and that we are also doing this as a video and a podcast. I also love for everyone to know to go check out intentioncall.com, because that is a beautiful place where people gather on Saturdays at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and they gather to pick a great topic, whether it be some sort of world topic where they intend upon. And that's what we're doing here today. We're actually picking topics to intend upon. We're intending about holidays. We're intending about parenting. We're intending about some beautiful topics here today. So I really thank you, Sherry, for so much for being here with me today. I love talking to you, because we intend to on some beautiful topics. And since it's also a podcast, Sherry, can you please let everyone know where they can find you?
Oh, absolutely. So my company is simplycelebrate.net.
And as you can see, she knows a lot about celebrating, and that's why I love having her on, because the two of us can truly, we definitely know how to kick our heels up, and we definitely know how to enjoy a celebration.
I love that. Like, this is a celebration, and I think, you know what, I'm glad you said that too, because it's like, I think this is also a good time to remind people that celebration can come at any moment, that we don't have to get so hung up on these days, like whether it's Thanksgiving Day or the Hanukkah days or Christmas Day or New Year's Day, because it puts so much pressure on the holidays when that's like our only time that we celebrate. Whereas like if right now you and I, this is like a holiday, right? It's like, this is fun. It's like a party. And if we're allowing ourselves to have that in the most ordinary of days, quote unquote, because they're not, every day is unique, then it also takes off all that pressure that, oh my gosh, this day, that we've deemed a holiday has to be so perfect, which I think just really screws a lot of things up, that mentality.
And I agree with you on that. And that's why I love having conversation with you. I think we need to have, it's like, I just had November 1st was my birthday, and I turned 49, and people are like, what are you going to do for your birthday? What are you going to do for your birthday? And I was like, it's just another day. I never celebrate my birthdays in terms of like, a celebration. And as you know, as you look at my birthday cards, they always say happy re-birthday. Because to me, first of all, birthday isn't really a birthday. It's kind of like every year to me is a rebirthday. It's a rebirthing, right? And so I always look at it as a day that you're rebirthing into a new year. However, every day to me is a celebration. I don't look at just because it's my birthday that it's a celebration. I think every day needs to be celebrated. And for me, I think I have more of that mindset because, as you know, of my medical background, I've had a lot of surgeries. So I've never really looked at, a birthday as a celebration. I've always just had more of that mentality of every day being a celebration because it's like, okay, I'm awake again. It's kind of like, ooh, next day, and every day that I wake up is a celebration for me. So I guess I've had that more drilled into me. I really wish everybody had that mindset. So one of the reasons I love talking to you is because you really get that. And like I told you, I lent your book out to one of my clients because I was really having a struggle with her about her really not celebrating her life.
Yeah.
And it's like I almost want to get like 100 of your books and just like start handing them out to everybody. It's like, celebrate your life. So we need to get your book out there more. It's just like everybody needs to understand that it's not like it's your birthday celebrate. It's not like Thanksgiving celebrate. It's not like it's Easter celebrate. It's like every day that you wake up, the minute you plant your feet on the ground, start celebrating. Because guess what? You woke up. And I don't think people know that.
And Carly, what's so fun about that is that we can, each of us and everyone listening to this can spark that for other people. Like I sometimes do things where I'll buy, like, people sell flowers on the street where I live a lot of times. $5, you can get a bunch of sunflowers. And I will just hand them out to people on the street and sort of try and create that little bit of feeling for people of like, this is special right here, right now, this day. And just by doing things, or like sometimes I love when I'm at my mom's house because she's so game for things. So it's like, Christmas may be over, New Year's may be over, whatever. And we decide we're going to have like a Mexican fiesta night, and everybody dresses up in their bright clothes and we, do the special music and, you know what I mean? It's like, it can be anytime. And in fact, it's almost, better, because it's like, there's no pressure. It's not like, oh, it's Mexican Fiesta Day. It has to look like this. And you know what I mean? I really encourage people to just create zany holidays and watch to see how it feels.
And the thing is, how many times have you heard people going, oh, I'm dreading Christmas or I'm dreading Thanksgiving because everybody's getting together and there's so much stress. There's so much to do. I got to wrap all the presents.
I know.
I got to do this. I got to do all the shopping. I got to do this. I got to do that. Instead of getting together at odd moments, at odd times.
Yes.
And, they don't get together enough. They wait just when it's someone's birthday. They wait just when it's the funeral. They wait just when it's the birth of the baby. They wait just when it's the blessing of the baby. It's always just when it's this. It's just when it's that. It's just when it's the graduation. It's just when I lost 100 pounds. It's just, it's always just when. So I really encourage people when they plant their feet on the ground. I mean, every night when I go to bed, it's kind of like I have this little prayer of disconnecting cords, and when I wake up in the morning, it's the same thing. It's like, I have this kind of little prayer of like plant my feet on the ground. It's like, thank you. It's like, really, we take for granted that we breathe.
Wow.
Guess what? If you don't breathe, you're not going to wake up. We need to start literally being in gratitude for being breathing. Seriously, because these are all unconscious things that our bodies automatically move, our muscles automatically move. Our hearts automatically pump, So we take for granted all these automatic responses that our bodies automatically do. So we just get in the habit of doing these little things of being in gratitude for things that we don't even think about. You'd be surprised how you would have more thank yous coming out of your mouth. We don't say thank you enough. We don't say, you know, I love you enough. We don't say we appreciate people enough. We just take for granted so many things. And I've just gotten so much more in the habit of saying thank you and I appreciate you, I love you, and you'd be surprised how much more uplifted you'd feel. You know, it's amazing how those little tweaks, those little nuances would make you feel, I mean, seriously, your inner body, you yourself would feel so much, you'd feel so much better. I mean, it's amazing how that makes a difference.
It is, you know, and I have an example, like today for some reason, I started sending texts and just emails to people just to say, I'm so grateful for you. I really love, you know, like I just wrote to my mom, who's just very funny. I love her humor, you know, and it's like just to, and I thought, you know, I just felt it today, and it's Thanksgiving week, and it just felt like I just want to be grateful to people. And just like you're saying, though, just all it takes is just like a few minutes to send off notes. Sometimes I leave audio notes for people just to say how much I love them, or, you know, I love to leave specific things, like, you know, that joke you told me, I'm still laughing about it, you know, 10 years later, stuff like that. Just, you know, to really, and it fills me with this, this well-being. I think you really hit on it. It's a physical thing to be grateful.
It really is. It's like belly laughter. I mean, how awesome do you feel when you laugh? That's why I love it when you're on. You and I laugh, and you get off, and you just feel so good. So I had my belly laughter for the day. I have another friend that I literally look forward to talking to. I don't talk to him, you know. So you know how there's some friends you talk to every day or whatever, but there's some friends you really look forward to talking to because you know you're going to have that belly laughter. Like, I really look forward to talking to my friend, right? Because you know you're going to have that belly laughter, right? So it's like there's those types of friends that you have, and you look forward to those phone calls because you know you're going to laugh, right? So it's like, get in those spaces. And here's the thing I tell people all the time. You need a team of friends around you that support you and love you for you. Everybody needs a cheerleading team. I don't care who you are. Go out and find your cheerleading team. Everybody needs a circle of cheerleaders that are going to cheerlead for you, love you unconditionally, and that when you're in a space and you need a cheerleading team, you can count on them. Everybody needs a circle of cheerleaders. Everybody.
And you know, what I love, Carly, about this is that it's pointing back toward, you know, that during this time of the holidays, and you started to talk about it just a bit ago, and I just want to bring us back, so about this team of cheerleaders and our best friends and the people who really support us, like putting ourselves back in that mindset of, instead of, you know, getting into the stress of like, well, what can I get them? What can I get them? You know, just plan a big chunk of time with the people you love so that what you're doing is you're all just showing up, you know, just like, okay, we're all going to go, you know, there's a free concert going on over at, you know, so-and-so hall. We're going to do that, and then we're going to go have a cider together, you know, but just setting things up so that you're actually creating the space to just be with people. Because I think in this day and age, everybody that I talk to, everybody feels like they need more one-on-one time, or just time in person with people where they can just be present. And I think we can all, this is where it goes back to this consciousness of, when we're looking at gifts, to give someone a gift certificate that says, we're going to spend a day together, you know, like that means everything right now to people, to have that kind of time with someone and show up and be present, not like crazy harried, oh, I was getting this gift and blah, 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 you know, not that.
You bring up a really valid point. I'm going to share something. One of the things I really didn't like to do was, this is when I lived way back in New York State, which goes back to the holidays. I didn't like to go spend. Here's the thing. First of all, I lived like 5 hours away. So here's the thing. I want you to visualize this. You get in a car, you drive 5 hours in traffic to go to your family's house. There's a ton of people. Now you're actually going to go see I'm going to pre-frame this a little bit. I'm going to actually go see my mother. I'm going to use my mother as an example, whether this is the real people or not, okay? But just envisioning this, okay? You're driving 5 hours to go see your loved ones, and you're going to go see your mother, whoever it is you're going to go see. Now you're in a car, right? You're driving 5 hours. You're stuck in traffic, right? And so you're already getting tense and agitated and maybe angry, okay? So you get there, right, and you're actually like you're anticipating spending quality time with your loved ones. However, you really never get to spend any quality time with the person you want to spend quality time with, because guess what? There's all these other people. So you drove all the way you drove 5 hours of traffic, right? You get there, you're anticipating spending quality time with, you know, whoever the person you came to see, whether it be your mother or your father or your brother, whatever that person you want to spend there. There's all these other people there, right? Of course, the person that you want to go see is hurrying, like you said, in the kitchen, running around, you know, getting everything ready, anticipating everybody else's needs, right? Because they're the host, right? So they're, you know, obviously, what do you need? What do you need? What do you need? What do you need? And of course, the house is full of people. You spend the night, right? You're there for maybe 2 or 3 days, and of course, it's, you know, little kids, which I love kids, but there's kids running all around the place, and you know, babies crying, which I still love kids, whatever. And there's all the relatives and everything else, but everybody, of course, is tense, right? And gifts are being ripped open, and people are still running around, and there's all this chaos and all this noise, right? And you're still anticipating to spend some quality time with the person you came to see. Of course, none of that ever happens, because there's all this running around up and down the stairs, and people are flying in and out, and you know, all this craziness, right? You know, the kitchen's a mess, everything, you know, because there's tons of people, right? And then you spend 5 hours driving back home in traffic, and you never spend any quality time with that person. So I finally made, and some people call this selfish, I still finally made the decision not to go up for the holidays anymore. I made the agreement, I made the phone call and finally made the agreement to say, look, I will come before the holidays because I wanted some quality time. I'm like, I will come up 2 days before the holidays. I want some quality time. So therefore, I will only see you before the holidays or after the holidays. I will not see you during the holidays. Because I refuse to drive 5 hours, be stressed out, right? All this chaos for 3 days, be stressed out for 3 days, to not spend any quality time with you, drive 5 hours back home in traffic, be all stressed out, and still not spending quality time with you. And to me, that made absolutely no sense, right?
Yeah.
So, it's like, so what I'm getting at is I would implore people to actually find time to spend quality time with people you want to spend with. And I'm not saying don't do the holidays, but what I'm just trying to get to people to understand is, why do we wait just to the holidays to spend quality time with people that we love and we care about?
I know.
Find time when you're not stressed out to spend quality time with people that you care about. Why are you putting yourself through the driving in traffic, you know, and stressing yourself out to not be able to spend quality time with people because there's a ton of other people there, and you're not even going to spend any quality time with people. And a lot of times, half the time, in my experience anyway, which I've seen and heard from countless clients, people are arguing, crying, because they're all stressed out, and there's arguments, da-da-da. Spend quality time with people all year round, not just wait for the holidays. That's all I'm saying.
And also, Carly, I think that what you're also saying, that at least I'm hearing, is so for the people who do host during the holidays at all, what can you do to make it simple? What can you do so that you can be there? I mean, people are always like, you know, they're cooking, that whole, I mean, I understand, and I think it's a beautiful thing to cook for people you love, but not when it's so stressful and it takes you away from actually being with the people you love. You know, and the same thing with worrying about gifts, you know. How many times have I visited people and they're off at the mall trying to get their last minute shopping done, and it's like, what's the point? You know, so it's like whatever we can do to simplify, 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 simplify.
Tips, tips, tips. One, I tell people all the time, literally, you can hire interns. All the time. You can interns to help clean up. You can hire, you know, and I'm not talking about majorly expensive. You can get literally college kids. They're home. They want to make some extra money.
That's great.
To clean up. Again, helping people that want to make money when they're on vacation. Now, look, I'm not saying cheap, cheap, cheap. They're home from the holidays. You're taking them away from their families. Pay them nicely. But anyways, you can get college kids to help clean up before and after. You can get them to help serve. You can even help them to cook. You know, so you can get college kids to help cook that know how to cook. You can also, if you do have the resources, which a lot of people do, you can have it catered. You just get people to help you. Tips, tips, tips. Get people to help clean up before and after. Okay? So you can spend quality time with your loved ones. And tips, 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 please do your shopping before. Don't wait till the very last second so you're stressed out beyond glory there, and you're just like, and again, and this is going to go back to why we're having this conversation, which you were tickled pink about doing, which is about your Black Thursday, is it called?
The new Black, it's called the new Black Friday.
That's it, I'm sorry. The
That's
new
okay.
Black Friday. So I'm going to bring it back over to you. But yes, don't wait till the last minute to do your shopping. You know, it's crazy. Everyone's out there. Seriously, there's injury reports in the emergency rooms, people, from people knocking people over to get to the last minute sales. I mean, why are we doing this to each other? I seriously don't understand that. They're putting that all aside. Back to you, Sherry.
Well, good, because this is what I want to talk about. The reason that I coined the new Black Friday is that I want to encourage people to join me in spending part of the day. It doesn't have to be the whole day. I know some people love Black Friday, but spending part of the day at home, cozied up, and creating at least one love list that's going to be your gift to somebody on your list. So that at least, one thing that you're doing that I can swear it brings such joy to create. So you're going to spend part of the day, new Black Friday, joining people all over the place who are going to be creating love lists. And then you have this one gift that you created with this joy and the creativity that we talked about before. And you've sort of given a different little bit of a twist to what Black Friday is. It's like I want people to start to, again, bring the consciousness to this day, that it can be a day that we're actually in this place of joyful giving. And then, you could do 1, you could do 2, you could do 3, you could do everyone on your whole shopping list. You could give a love list to this year and let yourself see what something like that would feel like. Try it out. So I would love people to join me. And I have a download, a free download, that I had someone professionally design a pretty list that people can just print out and fill in. And so I encourage people on the new Black Friday. Can I give the URL, or should I wait till later?
Of course you can.
I would love to. So it's the new Black, and then there's a hyphen Friday. So it's newblack-friday.com. And if people go there, they can easily get the free, not only just the free love list template, but then there are different ideas on how to present love lists and things like that too. And so I'd love for people to join me and see what it feels like to spend part of that day just at home, maybe with other people you love. I've had people who have told me they've gathered people around them and they've all made love lists together, and it's been such an amazing time to do something like that together.
And when I put together the whole embedded, video and podcast, she's going to send me the wonderful link, and I'll have the link that you can just click on, and then you can go print it out. So that'll be wonderful.
Yay!
Yay, exactly. And seriously, don't wait till the last minute to do your shopping, if that's what you're choosing to do. We're not telling you what to do. We just want to encourage you to find different ways of spending your holidays. So again, this whole show is about balance. We want you to find balance with your family, balance with the holidays, balance all year round. Get creative. Learn, play, and grow. Just go out there and be creative with self, with others. Get your cheerleading team on. Get your creative juices on. And just literally just have fun all year round and get your gratitude on. Just realize that every day that you wake up is a gift. And that, seriously, if you're not, if you're not breathing, you wouldn't be here. So just keep that in mind. Just be grateful for everything that you have. I mean, it's just, it's a beautiful thing to be here. And, it truly is an amazing gift. And I'm just, I can't say enough about that, in all honesty. And also, this is a wonderful time also to tell everyone about your wonderful book, because everyone who has seen your book, and anytime a client is here, or I talk to one of my clients, or whatever, I'm always telling them, you must go get the book, you must read the book, you must learn to celebrate. She has a wonderful book called Simply Celebrate that is a must-read, because it'll get you thinking about celebrating.
Well, and the thing is about, as you know from the book, again, the place where that book grew from is about small things that people can do that would have a really big impact. Something as silly, like, this is something I love. My son wears 2 different shoes to school every day. He has these red checkered shoes, and he has a pair of black and white shoes. And I just love, like, it's a silly little thing, but it changes. I know how that is. It, like, makes him feel fun. And so it's like simple things like that, that we could do for ourselves or that we could do for others that take maybe 5 or 10 minutes that can just change the way that we see our lives. You know, I'm always saying, you know, people who know me have heard me say this so many times, but it's like an extraordinary life is simply a life that's made up of extraordinary moments. You know, so all we have to do is in any moment that we're conscious is realize that it's like, what can I do right now to brighten this moment for me or for this person in front of me or for a stranger, you know? And it's amazing. Even just 3 or 4 extraordinary moments in a day can make it feel like dazzling, you know? And I know you know because you're a master at this, right?
Well, the interesting thing is, I tell this to people all the time is, you know, if you're walking down the street and you see someone that's got a frown, I invite you to, when you see that person has a frown, smile at them anyway and see what happens.
Wow.
I guarantee you that that person might just smile back. You know, it's amazing. We don't understand the impact of a smile. Smiling changes the physiology of not just you. It changes the physiology of the person across from you as you're walking by them. And you might not even see the smile right away of that person as you're walking past them. But I guarantee you, when you smile at that person who had a frown on their face, you change their physiology.
That is awesome. I had an example where someone let me in. You know, I was in this heavy traffic, and you know how it is. Like, people go by, they won't let you in, they won't let you in. Not only did this person let me in, but she kind of like just had this big smile and wave. Like, she was just so happy. That stuck with me for days. I mean, here it is. That was probably weeks ago, actually, now. It's still with me. Like, the effect of that. And you think, well, what's a wave or a smile? It's everything, you know?
It is.
It is. We just have to, this is, again, the consciousness and the intention and the remembering, you know, remembering that we can change someone's entire life in a moment. We really can.
Also, I do want to bring up, again, if by accident we actually cut someone off, and let's say the other person, you know, and a speaker brings this up eloquently, and what I'm saying is, even if we do something wrong, don't be embarrassed to then put your hand up and go, oh, I'm so sorry. Because even if you do that, let's say the other person flips you off, then put your hand up and go, I'm so sorry. I guarantee you, you apologizing and put your hand up will also change their physiology, and they still maybe go, oh, okay, it's okay.
Or sometimes, yes, sometimes I've not even realized it, unfortunately, till it's too late with that person. So I'll try to pay it forward in other ways, like, oh, goodness, I didn't even know I cut that person off, but here, I'm going to let 4 people in ahead of me just to, you know, and wave at them, and, you know what I mean, and just hope that it somehow ripples back, you know, around. Because, yeah, we just don't know. We just don't know.
And as I knew, we could talk forever, and so we are going to have to close it out, because otherwise we're going to be going over our time frame. So,
we can't do
as
that.
a delight, it is absolutely amazing to have you, and I invite everybody to have an amazing holiday season. And Sherry, thank you so much for being with me. It is just absolutely a delight to always have you. Please go check out intentionradio.com, check out intentioncall.com. Blessings to everybody. I do wish everyone a wonderful holiday season. I wish everyone a wonderful night. I love you, Sherry. I can't wait to have you on again. And I'm going to see you very, very soon. And you've been with your host, Thorne.com. You've been with Sherry. Please tell everyone where you can find you again, so that everyone knows where they can find you.
Wonderful. It's simplycelebrate.net.
And you can always celebrate with Sherry, because she knows how to celebrate.
Thank you, Carly.
Thank you, sweetheart. Can't wait to have you again. Good night, everyone.
Bye, dear.